Haha, I love to do it. I wonder what type of witchcraft these indigenous people have had care for their plants, and even their buildings to grow on the waters of Lake Texcoco. Sir, this city of canals in which we are entering is much older than any other which we have seen in the New World. Furthermore, I would venture to say that it's like two Cordobas, the biggest city that my eyes have ever seen.
It could be, Pedro. It is certainly much larger than Salamanca, Toledo, or Seville.
Sir, do you think we can defeat these Aztecs, or that they will become our allies, like the thousands of Tlaxcaltecas that accompany us?
I very much doubt that they will accept an alliance with us. After all, they are the masters of these lands, and they appear to have a larger army than any other indigenous village. We simply need to be cautious.
Sir, the lands that we have heard are true. The gods have come down from the floating towers of the eastern seas and have arrived at Tegningland. They are beasts with 4 legs, 2 heads, and 2 hands. The underside of their body is like that of a giant dog that makes a lot of noise when it walks. On top, they appear to have a second body that seems human, but is covered from chest to head with metal as shiny as the sun.
How many are there?
These gods cannot be more than 300, but they are accompanied by a very large entourage of our enemy, the Tlaxcaltecas, who kneel before them like dogs.
I want to see them with my own eyes and confirm if they are truly gods. Prepare me palanquin and gifts. We will go out to meet you.
Look, see, how many metals, feathers, and furs decorate their clothes. This town appears to be richer than we had ever imagined.
Welcome, I am Montezuma. If you are the leader of the god that come from the east, you should be Quetzalcoatl, the god of wind. For this reason, I give you this headdress designed in your honor. If you wish to stay among us, the mortals, we will host you in the temple of my father, Axayacalt.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I hope the food of mortals can sat your divine appetite.
Yum, what delicacy is this?
It is called chocoal. Try it with this cacao latte. You will not regret it.
Delicious. I am sure that our king, Charles I, will enjoy adding these products to his dessert. And those fruits?
This is tomato and this is avocado.
Yum, how could we have lived all this time without these foods? And you cultivate all of this in the lake?
In the man-made islands, our agriculturists work very hard to cover the water with dirt and to create cultivated land between the canals.
Of course. How could I have forgotten that? Be still, unfaithful men. If you remain calm, no one will be hurt. I do not want to hurt you, so do as I say or I will have to kill you.
Yes, sir?
I want you to go out on the temple's balconies and yell to your Aztecs that you are okay and we continue to be, but with 2 conditions: that they bring us food to eat to the temple each day, and that nothing happens to any Spaniard nor to any of our Taxaltecas. After all, you invited us to stay in Tenochtitlan, didn't you? Ah, and one more thing. Tell your town that, starting today, Tenochtitlan is Christian, and that all your savage tribal rituals are abolished.
Montezuma did what Cortes told him to do, and he managed to calm his people. This situation lasted 6 long months, during which the Mexicans were little by little losing faith in the Tlatoani, their prison leader. Everything changed dramatically until the end of May 1520. Tenochtitlan was in the hands of Pedro de Alvarado, after Cortes had to leave the city with a part of his army for a few weeks. Alvarado had granted permission to the Mexica to celebrate in an exceptional way a festival in honor of the sun god. However, Alvarado mandated the assassination of all the people taking part in the celebration, fearing that they would organize an attack of the remaining Spaniards in the temple. The massacre of the Great Temple was the last straw for the Mexicans. When Cortes finally returned to Tenochtitlan, hundreds of thousands of Mexicans waited in their houses in dead silence. The Spaniards were locked up in the temple without food, water, or gunpowder. The Great Awakening was beginning.
Why did you think to attack them without my permission and with so few remaining in the temple? You have to go out there one more time and calm your people. Everyone's lives are at stake, including yours.
Try, sir, but you know that it is not going to be easy. No, they don't want to listen to me. But how they dare attack me? I am their Lachuani. I am their God.
But the plan did not turn out as expected. On the night of June 30th, 1520, the sad night, the Spanish caravan and Tlaxcaltecas that were trying to leave the city were discovered while they were fleeing and were surrounded by thousands of Mexicans. Hundreds of loyal soldiers to Cortes were drowned and their treasures plunged to the bottom of the lake. Hernan Cortes himself was saved by a miracle from certain death. He had no choice but to flee after receiving the greatest military defeat that the Spaniards had ever experienced in America. Even so, he promised that he would return.
Listen carefully. It has been almost a year since we fled Tenochtitlan. Since then we have struggled a lot to reorganize our army and have managed to conquer all the villages that surround Lake Texcoco. As the stubborn Aztecs refused to surrender peacefully, today, May 22, 1521, our army of more than 1,000 Spaniards and more than 100,000 indigenous will crush them. We will attack the city's land, entrance and from the water. For the duration of the battle, we will cut off all of the roots so that they weaken from anger and from smallpox that is already decimating them. It won't be easy.
Still, Hernan Cortes couldn't imagine how hard it would be to take Tenochtitlan. For almost 3 months, the battle, famine, epidemics, and death spread throughout every street and canal. Finally, on August the 13th of 1521, the largest city that Europeans had ever found within America fell. The fall of Tenochtitlan marks the beginning of the Spanish domination in Mesoamerica, a domination that lasted over 300 years and that gave rise to a cultural and racial fusion, without which Spanish and Latin American culture cannot be understood today.